So people that are in the EDC community are fickle just like a 6-month-old baby. You finally learn how to crawl, and there's just so many things right there in your reach, right there in your grasp. You want it all. You want to put it all in your mouth, pause. But that doesn't mean you should. And that also doesn't mean if 10 of you peasants come here and ask me some questions, I'm not going to answer them for you. And don't forget, I am the peasant in chief. All right, so a lot of you guys ask questions in regards to EDC stuff, survival stuff, anything that has to do on my channel. I get a lot of questions. This series is to help improve your EDC or to just make fun of your questions. That's the purpose of me doing this. So I don't want you to get confused about exactly why we put this together. And also don't get your panties all in a bunch if, you know, I come at you. It's just the internet. I'm a guy on the internet who really cares. First question here is from Philist Shogun. Hey, forgive me, I'm new to your channel. Have you done any reviews of EDC boxes? Just wondering what your thoughts are on them. EDC boxes seem to be that's a broad category of stuff. Are we talking about boxes like Pelican stuff or Rome Adventure Company? I've done reviews on both. For Yeti Go Box, done reviews on that as well. Are we talking about pouches such as tech pouches like the Belroy tech pouch? Shameless self-promotion. You could always pick yourself up an EDC box by Marine X. This one is just a mini EDC box. Use code MarineX20 on my website for a limited time for 20% off everything. What are we talking about? But I guess to answer your question more specifically, have I done reviews on EDC boxes? Aplenty. Whether they have to do with the vault case companies, hard type of boxes and fungible cases, and just explore my channel, my guy. You know, maybe this is your first go around of actually exploring the type of stuff that I'm pumping out. There might be some stuff that's interesting to you, and I would love to see exactly what you think. All right, next question here is from Kari Tando. Listen, if I mispronounce you guys' name, just pound sand, okay? You know, I'm freaking trying my best here. Might sound a little noobish, but is it okay to keep the jump starter / battery pack in the car? I live in the tropical country, so I'm worried it will blow and explode. Well, my guy, if in your environment, maybe you shouldn't keep it in your vehicle. All my gear that's in my truck, in the bed of my truck, especially stuff that has batteries and stuff like that, they're getting touched and maintenance at least every 2 weeks. I got to make sure my fire extinguishers are still good, make sure that my actual walkie-talkies and radios have battery if they need to be charged. Emergency radios are working like they should. Stuff like this, jump starters and stuff, have not exploded. Anything else that uses AA or AAA batteries have acid all over the place. I'm doing a maintenance routine. Now that might not be something that you have time for or want to do. If not, don't put this type of stuff in your vehicle. This is the type of stuff that I want to make sure is good to go. And if it's important to you, you will find some time, my guy. But if you're in that environment where you just know it will not work, then don't do it. Just don't do it. Next one here is from MF What TV. Does that mean mother what TV? I don't know. Let's just say that. Let's just say that's what it means. So, what kind of watch is that on your wrist? In that specific video, I'm wearing the VAR Field Watch, a fantastic watch. I think they're going to be having some Black Friday specials coming up. I'll make sure I check that out, see if I see any deals. I like anything Field Watch. I think that high value men should wear analog and digital watches. Smart watches are cool, but there's just something that adds value to the way you carry yourself, the way that the way you move through stuff when you wear an analog or digital watch. I'm not shitting on you. If you like your little Apple Watch, if you like your little Tick watch or your Samsung watch, continue wearing it, boo-boo. You do you. But for me personally, I own that stuff, but they're used in specific scenarios. Cutting the grass, going on walks, going on rucks, want to be able to track my fitness, I wear a smartwatch. Piling around the house, doing daily work, going to an event, I wear a nice watch. If I need to check my actual phone for notifications, I pull my freaking phone out of my pocket, okay? People don't need to have 100% access to me at all times. So yes, if you like that watch, man, check the link down below. I'll see if I can link that up for you. You can check it out. Next question here is from John Davis. Says, and a lot of people asked questions similar to this, but I thought this was probably one of the most idiotic. So I wanted to address yours directly. So why is it that the survival kit makers think that every time I get myself into a desperate do or die situation that I'm suddenly going to get the irresistible urge to stop and go fishing? In a lifeboat kit, yes. In a home kit, no. Sir, I would rather have it and not need it instead of need it and not have it. You don't know what type of scenarios you might go on to. A get home situation, yes, you're walking over a certain amount of land. Here where I live, if I'm walking from East Texas, where my hunting property is, back to my house, that's a long ass walk, first of all. But any of those scenarios, there are tanks. What we call tanks on someone's property is the word for a pond. If I'm hungry, there's a bunch of catfish and bass in these tanks, which there are. I want to fish one out. You may not need one in freaking New Mexico as you walk through the desert. It depends on your scenario. When I put together these kits, these bags, these are suggestions. These are things that work for me. These are not to be taken biblically and to be followed verbatim. If you are, then you need to have a mind of your own. You might not even know how to use this trash. So for you, sir, do we get an itch to go, irresistible urge to go stop and go fishing? No, maybe freaking weirdos like you would if you're going through a get home or bug out situation. But for those of us that have a practical mindset, we just want it just in case. So you're saying I shouldn't keep a tourniquet because there's a low likelihood I get shot, or things for sunken chest wounds because I don't need to worry about that. You do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Next question here is from JVit TV. Will it fit underneath a plain seat as a carry-on? This is a question about the bag I did recently about the Vertex Gamut review, the 1 year later review of the Vertex Gamut 3.0. Yes, it will fit under the seat of a plane. A lot of people ask that question. It will fit right in front of you, so it can be your carry-on and your personal item. A lot of airlines nowadays, so you can bring one carry-on and one personal item. This can be a personal item because it can fit in the seat in front of you. And that bag is currently on sale. I'll link it down below as well. Normally $229. It's like $176 right now, which for all the features, the size and the build quality of that bag might be something that you might want to check out. Next one here is from Vernon Gandy. I says, I have a couple of questions. What if you can't get back to your vehicle or it's destroyed? How do you know if you still have a home during an EMP? I see rucking works for idea conditions. Those are some good questions. So first off, he says, what if you can't get back to your vehicle or it's destroyed? Then I won't have this bag. That's a good question. I don't want to build a bag on top of a bag on top of a bag, but for your scenario, imagine you're at a concert, you're downtown in whatever city you live in, civil unrest happens, your vehicle's destroyed. Where your get home bag was in your vehicle, you no longer have it. So hopefully you have something on you that's going to help you survive. The first thing you should have on you is training and knowledge. Secondly would be tools and supplies. But if your vehicle's destroyed, it is what it is. You're not going to be able to use it. You're not going to be able to get your get home bag. Your next question is how do you know if your home still exists during an EMP? I won't know that, but I do know this is where my family is. And my truck is outfitted with an EMP shield. Will it work? I don't know. But an EMP shield is designed to protect my battery and my alternator just in case an EMP happens, so that hopefully I can still press forward and start my vehicle and go with the rest of my day. Will my home exist? Will it function properly? I'll find out when I get here using my get home bag. That's the purpose of it. But rucking and walking home is how I intend to get there. This is the bag that I did for my buddy, the Urban Get Home Kit DIY. I gave it to him. He likes it a lot. And I appreciate you guys' feedback during that video. Same video here. I have a question from Hampshire. It says, is that a blown out stitching on the side zip of your main OG bag? It is. A lot of people pointed that out. I didn't see it until I went to put that bag back into my vehicle. I've already sent that bag back to Essie. They've already started the repair process. That bag cost me over $500 as it was originally kitted out. They have a lifetime warranty. They don't care that I'm the one that overstuffed it. I don't even think I overstuffed it because the way I had it kitted out really wasn't overstuffed. I was kind of rucking it kind of roughly, and that bag, you can ruck it on your hip. So I tend to wear that bag in an upper hip position so that I can access the items. And I don't know if it was just from friction or if it was a loose seam or whatever, but yes, it is getting repaired. That was a great catch. Appreciate you mentioning that, and other folks that mentioned it as well, you should still consider the bag. You know, don't discount the kit because of the stitching issue. You should know that the warranty process has been great with Essie. So if you want to get a knife from them or a survival kit or a map or a book, you probably would have a good peace of mind. Next one here says, if you're running this bag, what's in your pockets? Would it be redundancy, or would your main EDC being in your pockets in the bag be redundancy? So he says, if you're running this bag, what's in your pockets? Well, my pockets is my normal carry. I don't like a ton of stuff in my pocket. So it's normally a knife, a flashlight, a wallet, paws, and that's about it. Sometimes a multi-tool, sometimes a little bit more. But if I'm running this urban EDC pouch I just talked about by Roaring Fire, the Smolder, these are redundancies. These are items just in case I forget something. And if I forget my knife, which is rare, I have it. Or if I'm carrying a fixed blade knife and I'm tired of it that day, like today, I'm carrying a fixed blade knife by Montana Knife Company. And if I was tired of carrying this knife for the day, then I might want to switch it up and throw a folder in my pocket. Or I might go to a place where I'm not allowed to carry a big old full tang fixed blade knife. Or is your EDC being in your pockets with that? Yeah, so basically when I carry these type of kits, it is literally redundancy. The one in my truck, the one I carry in my bag, plus a little bit of extra sauce, because everything that's in that kit is not in my pockets. I don't carry nail clippers in my pockets or a pry bar in my pockets. Next one here is 5 EDC emergencies you must plan for. Ready for Rain says, at what point does your EDC and your other EDC become redundant? The point of EDC gear is that it is your gear for you for every day. All the other gear is supplementary or unnecessary and therefore not suited to be considered EDC. Okay, great one. I'm so glad you bestowed that upon us. EDC is whatever we want it to be for. For me, it's having redundancies, things I might have at the ready. If you have a kiddo, do you pack your diaper bag with the exact items you're going to need for that day? No, you bring extra crap, extra outfits, extra bags, extra whatever. I decide to EDC the way I want to. Maybe you EDC so that you can pound sand. I don't know if you need a special type of gloves, you know, if you got to warm up first, whatever you need to do to pound sand, you can do that. But yes, redundancy is a part of my EDC. For you, if you're a straight peasant level, maybe you just carry one of everything, okay? And that's fine. Supplemental redundancies, I'm okay with. I'm not here to watch your pockets to make sure that you're spending exactly what you need to. And you probably shouldn't be here to do mine either. Next question here is from Rudy Garcia. If you are in a vehicle with a radio, why would you need a radio? This was the last question, and this is probably one of the dumbest questions I've heard in a while. I don't know if you're trolling. If you're trolling, it's the dumbest question I've heard in a while. If you're not trolling and you're legit wondering why, because the battery in your vehicle powers your radio. Also, your radio can't be taken with you. Also, your radio is not an emergency radio for weather purposes. The reason you carry an independent emergency radio is because you can quickly get to a weather channel and find out if there is a hurricane coming your way, or tornado, some other national disaster, if there's some type of public service announcement. If you have an aftermarket radio like I do, sometimes my FM and AM barely work because of my antenna. Maybe yours is fantastic and you're driving some 1993 Ford and it's working just great, but I don't want to depend on my radio for it to fail me. You can do that, but I want to also be able to be mobile with mine because it just makes sense. Looks like I've helped quite a few of you today. You should thank me by sending a super thanks down below. It's right near the like button. But that's not a requirement, okay? It's not a requirement. I appreciate you watching the video. If this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. You've completed the assignment. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.